Your problem isn't money. Your problem is you. You tell yourself you're broke because of the economy, because of bad luck, because you weren't born into the right family. Stop lying. That's not why you're stuck. You're stuck because of the way you think, the way you act, and the way you waste every opportunity staring you in the face. Here's the raw truth. Money is everywhere. Trillions move every day. People with less intelligence than you, fewer connections than you, and worse circumstances than you are getting rich right now. The issue isn't money, it's your relationship with it. And your relationship is toxic. You treat money like a mystery, like some secret code only the elite can crack. But money isn't mysterious. Money is brutally honest. It flows to discipline, to value, to people who stop making excuses and start solving problems. Let's get uncomfortable. The reason you're broke isn't because you don't have enough. It's because you can't handle what you already have. You make $3,000 and blow it on distractions. You upgrade your lifestyle before you upgrade your discipline. You treat money like a toy, then cry when it doesn't multiply. That's not a money problem. That's a character problem. Psychology backs this up. Research on self-regulation shows that people who can delay gratification, who can resist the short-term dopamine hit, end up wealthier, healthier, and happier, not because they're smarter, but because they have control. And control, not cash, is the real foundation of wealth. Here's a shocking truth. If you can't manage $100, you won't manage $100,000. Money only amplifies who you already are. If you're reckless broke, you'll be reckless rich. If you're disciplined broke, you'll be disciplined rich. Wealth isn't built when you get more money. It's built when you stop being sloppy with the money you already have. Now let's tie this to attraction dynamics, because money and relationships are deeply linked. Money isn't about flexing cars or watches. That's surface-level garbage. True financial strength communicates stability, control, and direction, and those qualities are magnetic. People are drawn to partners who radiate certainty, who aren't living paycheck to paycheck in chaos, not because of the dollar amount, but because money management signals life management. Flip it the other way. Financial weakness repels. If you're constantly broke, constantly drowning in debt, constantly one emergency away from collapse, you don't just feel insecure, you project insecurity. And people sense it. They see the lack of order. They feel the desperation. That energy doesn't attract, it suffocates. Here's the brutal reality. Your financial situation is a reflection of your habits, not your circumstances. Every dollar you spend is a vote for the future you're building, or the one you're destroying. You think you need more income. You don't. You need to stop leaking what you already earn into nonsense that gives you nothing back. DoorDash, subscriptions, impulsive buys, you're literally burning your future for the comfort of today. And here's where motivation screws you. Motivation makes you chase shiny schemes, get rich quick, passive income hacks, crypto to the moon. You want shortcuts because you don't want discipline. But wealth isn't built on motivation. It's built on systems. Daily, boring, disciplined systems that compound. The rich don't think about motivation. They think about ownership, leverage, and time. So here's your mindset shift. Money isn't scarce. It's neutral. You're the variable. Stop asking, how do I make more money? And start asking, how do I stop destroying the money I already have? Because until you master that, more income won't save you. It'll bury you faster. You don't need to start $1 million company tomorrow. You need to prove to yourself you can be trusted with the resources you already hold. Build the muscle of discipline. Save before you spend. Invest before you splurge. Create before you consume. Do that consistently, and money will start to flow toward you, not because of luck, but because you finally stop blocking it with your own stupidity. Let me hit you with one more truth. Being broke is expensive. The fees, the debt, the constant panic, it costs you more than wealth ever will. You think discipline is painful? Try being broke forever. That's real pain. So here's your challenge. Tonight, track every dollar you spent this week. Write it down. Face the truth. Then cut one thing, just one, that's been draining you without giving you anything back. Redirect it into savings, investing, or building a skill. One cut won't make you rich overnight, but it will do something more powerful. It will prove you can be trusted with money, because that's the first step. And until you prove that, no amount of cash will fix your life. Money isn't the issue. You are. And fixing that is easier than you think.
Let's get one thing straight. Money is not emotional. You are. Money doesn't hate you. Money doesn't avoid you. Money doesn't run away from you. It simply flows toward value and discipline and away from waste and chaos. If your bank account is empty, it's not because money rejected you. It's because your habits repelled it. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't want wealth. They want the appearance of wealth. They'd rather look rich than actually be rich. That's why they buy cars on credit, clothes they can't afford, and vacations that put them deeper into debt. They think status symbols create attraction, when in reality, they scream insecurity. True wealth whispers. Fake wealth shouts. And here's where psychology kicks in. The brain loves instant gratification. When you buy something shiny, your dopamine spikes. You feel powerful for about 10 minutes. Then the crash comes, and you're left with less money, more stress, and the need for another hit. That's not money management. That's financial addiction. You're not broke because the world is unfair. You're broke because you're a junkie for short-term pleasure. Now let's link this to attraction dynamics. Imagine this. Two people walk into a room. One has flashy beer, a leased car, and nothing in savings. The other is dressed simply, drives a reliable car, but owns assets that are quietly multiplying. Who's actually more attractive long-term? It's not the one flexing, it's the one secure. Stability is magnetic. Security is magnetic. People are drawn to those who radiate control over their lives because that energy says, I'm not desperate. I don't need rescuing. I can handle myself. The flip side is financial chaos is unattractive. Desperation leaks into everything, your conversations, your decisions, your body language. When you're living paycheck to paycheck with no plan, every interaction has a hidden agenda. I need something from you. And people feel that. Desperation repels. Here's another harsh truth. You don't have an income problem. You have an ownership problem. You think more money will save you, but you've already proven it won't. Every time you got a raise, a bonus, a refund, where did it go? Gone, spent, leaked. Not because you didn't earn enough, but because you refused to own your money. Ownership means directing it, assigning it, telling every dollar where to go instead of wondering where it went. This is why discipline is more valuable than motivation. Motivation makes you excited to save money for a week. Discipline makes you build systems that run even when you don't feel like it. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is structural. Rich people don't rely on feeling good about saving money. They build habits that happen automatically. They invest before they spend. They own assets that work while they sleep. That's not magic. That's ownership. Here's the mindset shift you must embrace. Stop treating money like a paycheck and start treating it like a soldier. Every dollar you earn is a soldier. You can waste it on battles that don't matter, or you can send it out to fight for your future. Spend it on junk, and it dies instantly. Invest it wisely, and it brings back reinforcements. Rich people don't work harder because they're lucky. They work smarter because their soldiers fight for them. And this applies to relationships too. Financial ownership communicates personal ownership. If you can't even direct your own money, how can you expect someone to trust you with their future? How can you lead a family, a partnership, or a team if you can't lead your own wallet? People sense when you're reckless, and it destroys respect. But here's the good news. Flipping this script is easier than you think. You don't need to start a company tomorrow. You don't need 6 streams of income by Friday. You need one thing: proof. Proof you can control what you already have. Proof you can delay gratification. Proof you can build, not just consume. And once you have that proof, confidence grows. With confidence comes risk-taking. With risk-taking comes opportunity. That's how wealth starts, not with luck, but with discipline. So here's your challenge. For the next 30 days, treat every dollar like it matters, because it does. Before you spend, ask, is this soldier fighting for me or dying for nothing? If it's not fighting for your future, don't spend it. Redirect it. Build the habit. Build the proof. Because the truth is simple. Money isn't against you. You're just wasting it. And once you stop, you'll see how fast wealth begins to flow in your direction. Money isn't the issue. Ownership is. And ownership is easier than you think.
Let's stop pretending. You're not poor because you lack opportunity. You're poor because you keep selling your future for comfort today. That's the core problem. You trade hours for entertainment instead of skills. You trade dollars for dopamine instead of assets. You trade excuses for discipline and then act shocked when your life doesn't change. Money isn't holding you back. You are. Here's the brutal truth. Staying broke is a choice, not a permanent sentence, not destiny. A choice you make every day when you waste, avoid, and procrastinate. Every decision with your time and your money is either building wealth or burying it. And you've been digging your own grave one swipe, one subscription, one I'll deal with it later at a time. Look around you. The richest people in the world didn't get there because they were the smartest. They got there because they acted when others hesitated. They built when others consumed. They invested when others wasted. The formula hasn't changed, but you're still waiting for luck, waiting for the right mood, waiting for motivation that never lasts. And here's the cost. Every year you stay broke, you lose more than money. You lose confidence. You lose freedom. You lose respect. Nothing kills attraction faster than financial chaos. You can't call yourself a leader if you're one bill away from collapse. You can't project certainty if you live in constant scarcity. People don't follow desperation, they run from it. Flip it. Wealth signals control. It communicates stability, vision, direction. Not because of the amount, but because of the discipline behind it. Someone who owns their money is someone who owns their life. And that energy is magnetic. People trust it. They're drawn to it. That's why financial power changes not just your bank account, but your relationships, your influence, your entire identity. Here's the mindset shift you need right now. Money isn't earned, it's created. Created by value, by leverage, by discipline. If you're still trading hours for dollars with nothing left to show, you're playing the wrong game. Wealth isn't built on endless grind. It's built on ownership, on building systems, assets, and habits that work when you're not working. And don't get it twisted. The system isn't rigged against you. It's just unforgiving to the undisciplined. Money rewards structure. Money rewards clarity. Money rewards the person who says no to garbage and yes to growth. If that hasn't been you, then it's time to admit it and fix it. So here's your final challenge. For the next 90 days, flip the script. Stop chasing the next dopamine hit. Build a system. Create one stream of income outside your paycheck. Save a set percentage before you spend a dime. Invest in one skill every week that makes you more valuable. 90 days of discipline will give you more momentum than the last 9 years of excuses. Because here's the final slap of truth. Getting rich isn't about luck, talent, or privilege. It's about discipline, ownership, and relentless action. And those things are available to you right now. So stop whining, stop blaming, stop waiting. Your financial future isn't written, it's manufactured, and the pen is in your hands. Money isn't the issue, you are. Getting rich is easier than you think. Now prove it.